Edict, by definition, it means an official order or proclamation issued by a person in authority. Let's grab a few synonyms here. It means a decree, an order, or command. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kradash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Earlier today, the elder apostles placed emphasis on an edict that was issued a little while ago. And that edict was this: should VOCAB Malone come down to the camp, call the authorities on him. And why is that? Because VOCAB Malone, he's persona non grata, all right? He's irrelevant, and he's a stalker of the camps of GMS. And how do we know this to be true? Well, watch closely.
I am downtown San Diego, right where GMS San Diego is supposed to be every Wednesday live. I don't see Chazak anywhere around though. Where you at? It's right by the MTS. Post up right there. Every Wednesday. That spot right there, he posts up. You can even see the Pearlman in the videos. Right here on C Street. I don't see him. I've been here a while. He comes out at sunset every time. He should have been here. Looks like he's sitting in the house. Tahar's gonna get mad. I'm gonna tell Tahar you weren't out when you're supposed to be. Unless you can put up another video proving yourself that you was out sometime, man. GMS San Diego failing to keep a schedule. Failing to stay consistent.
Let me come out of this here. What are you going to do with a person of this ilk, man? Let me come out of this and let me grab a few more definitions, right? Because what does it mean to be persona non grata?
Persona non grata.
This is VOCAB Malone, right? These words and these descriptions fit him perfectly. An unacceptable or unwelcome person. I'll read it again. An unacceptable or unwelcome person. Let's get stalker in the Etamon online, because I found a few descriptions in here that fit VOCAB Malone perfectly. Stalker in the Etamon online means a poacher, a hunter, one who stalks game. Here's the point: an agent. What else does it tell us here? Obsessive harasser. This is why we've been instructed to call the authorities on this individual. And if you're not aware of what the elder apostle had to say, listen closely, and I'll chime in momentarily.
Elder Pastor, he gave the order, and that's to all these GMS camps. If VOCAB Malone rolls up, you immediately call the cops on him. That was the order that came down. Okay? You were supposed to research the law in your state, the law against anyone disrupting your meeting, your Bible meeting, and you call the authorities on that individual. Doesn't matter if it's VOCAB Malone or any individual. Okay? This is an example of being prudent. Now, concerning VOCAB Malone, we're done dialoguing with him. Okay? We're done dialoguing with him. If he comes up, you know the one reason why he's coming up to your camp. He's coming up to the camp not to learn. He's coming to cause disruption.
Let me stop there for a moment. And I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can watch this video in its entirety. But I looked up the law here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I simply typed the question: can someone be arrested for interrupting a religious service and or camp? And it states here as an overview, yes, someone can be arrested for interrupting a religious service in Georgia. Let's continue reading, all right? It tells us here, disrupting a lawful meeting under Georgia Code Section 16-11-34. Anyone who intentionally or recklessly disrupts a lawful gathering, meeting, or procession can be charged with a misdemeanor. You see that? So we can call the authorities on VOCAB Malone's ass and get him out of there. Man, this guy is a nuisance, okay? Romans, this is chapter 13, verse 1. And I'll read down to verse 6, all right? And it tells us this: that every soul be subject unto the higher powers. What do the higher powers look like today? All right? That's referring to your sheriffs, your deputies, your police officers, your security guards, etc. Okay? Let every soul be subject unto the higher power, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the powers resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. You see that? They're there for our use as well, okay? All right? You have to utilize Esau Edom's system against him, okay? Verse 3, for rulers are not a terror to good works. And who are those doing the good works? We're out there teaching and preaching and spreading the good news unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, all right? They're not a terror unto us. I'm going to read that again. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil, all right? Remember, the scriptures tells us this. When the word is sown into a man, the devil comes up immediately, and I'm just loosely paraphrasing this, and attempts to snatch away what's been sown into that man. And that's what VOCAB Malone does. He slithers his way up to the camp, causing a disruption, right? Interrupting or attempting to steal what's been sown into the listeners that may be there, or the listeners that may be listening online by way of the internet and or the unicorn. All right? Okay? Verse 3 again. Lost my place. Bear with me. Salakia. For the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he, and that's referring to the police officer, all right? For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, VOCAB Malone, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that do evil. The police officers are there to arrest your ass, VOCAB, and lock you up and get you the hell out of there. Verse 5, wherefore ye must need be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. All right? We're subject to it as well. We don't want to get the ministry blamed. All right? We're out there to win souls, not to be interrupted by the damn Satan himself. Verse 6, for this cause ye pay tribute. This is why we pay taxes. All right? So they can take out the trash, a.k.a. VOCAB Malone. For this cause ye pay tribute. Also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. You see that? So, if brothers hadn't, I recommend, look up the law in your local city or town or area, and then VOCAB Malone, roll up on you. Hey, you already know the law. Just call the authorities, do what you got to do. Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.